Hello everyone, welcome to your virtual instructor. So today we are going to discuss about cloud computing. We'll understand what is the meaning of the cloud computing and which type of cloud computing you should be choosing for your organization as per your requirements. So what is cloud computing? It is a on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet where you don't have to buy any physical data centers or machine or don't have to do any setup. So you can deploy various type of workloads in just few clicks. You can create various resources based on your requirement in just few minutes from a cloud service provider. So here you can see there is a cloud and you can run various type of workload like virtual machine, databases, storage, server, web application, mobile application, etc. inside the cloud. So there are various deployment models in the cloud which we are going to discuss in the next slide. Cloud deployment models. So we have 5 cloud deployment models: public cloud, private cloud, hybrid, community, and multi-cloud. So what is public cloud? So public cloud is open to everyone provided you have the right authentication and authorization. And because of that reason, it will be less secure because it is open to everyone. In this model, cloud infrastructure services are provided over the internet to the general people or major industry groups. Here, infrastructure will be owned by the cloud service provider and not by the consumer. This is a minimal cloud option and you don't have to bear any setup cost. Here also you don't have to manage any infrastructure. Also it provides a dynamic scalability where you can deploy or increase or decrease the number of virtual machines or various workloads or increase their sizes depending on your requirement. So here you can see there is one public cloud and various resources are running it by various users and various enterprises, and they are using the same public cloud and they can log in and use it provided they should be having the correct authentication and authorization. Private cloud is exact opposite of public cloud model. It is a one-to-one environment for a single customer where you don't have to share hardware with anyone else. And this is why it is also called internal cloud. You have better control and customization, including better data security and privacy. But it will be costlier as compared to the public cloud. Also, it will be less scalable because you have to ask cloud service provider to come and do the setup for you. Here you can see we have two private cloud models where enterprise is hosting their workloads in their on-premises, and in the second model they have asked the cloud service provider to deploy the resources to some external site which is just dedicated for their enterprise. Hybrid cloud. It offers you more personalized solution with more flexibility and more control than public cloud. You have the better security for your sensitive data, but at the same time, it is difficult to manage. Also, the data transmission rate will be slower as compared to the public cloud. So in this model, you can see enterprise A has some workloads in their on-premise environment as well as they are using some services for in the public cloud. So what happens? What enterprise do? They deploy many software or many sensitive software or legacy software or software which controls the authentication like Active Directory, etc. in their on-premises, and at the same time they use the services of the public cloud and they open up a bridge between their on-premises and the public cloud. So whatever the authentication or authorization happens, it happens via on-premises. Multi-cloud. Here what organizations do, they pick best services or whatever services they need from different cloud service providers. But it is difficult to manage because you need the skill for every type of cloud which you are using. Again, data transmission rate will be slower because communication will happen between two clouds. Also, it could be vulnerable from security perspective because there will be a bridge of communication between two clouds, so hackers can find a way or find a loophole to hack it. Community cloud. In this, infrastructure will be shared between some organization from a specific community which have some common concern or some common service usage. This cloud will be owned, managed, and operated by one or more community members, or it could be a third party or a combination of them. It is a cost effective because the whole cloud cost is shared between several organizations in a community. But it is more secure than the public cloud because public won't be having the access to this community cloud. But again, it will be less secure than the private cloud. The data storage and bandwidth will be shared among all community members so that it will be fixed, and if you want to use more, then you have to come in agreement with other community members. And it will be, of course, costlier than public cloud, and sometimes sharing responsibility or the resources among the community members becomes difficult. Here you can see enterprise A, B, and C are using the workloads from a community cloud. So they have deployed whatever workloads or whatever services they need in their own cloud, and they are using it. Overall analysis. So initial setup when it comes to the public cloud, it is easy. For scalability, for the community cloud, it will be fixed because you have to come in agreement with other community members. Cost comparison. When it comes to the cost comparison, public cloud will be the most cost effective solution. In the community cloud, the cost will be shared among the community members. Data security and privacy, which is low in public cloud but highest in private cloud. Cloud computing models. First cloud computing model is infrastructure as service. Second is a platform as a service or PaaS. And third is a software as a service. So cloud computing models define how you are going to use the cloud computing in your environment. Shared responsibility model. So when it comes to deploy and use their services, it's a shared responsibility between you and the cloud provider. So whatever is highlighted in the orange is your responsibility, and whatever is highlighted in the gray color will be the cloud provider responsibility. So when you deploy workloads in your data center, so it will be complete your responsibility from networking to application, including the OS patching, setting up the virtualization layer, everything. And when it comes to the infrastructure service, from the OS layer, it will be your responsibility. Like patching up the OS, setting up the middleware application come under your bucket. Platform as a service. So here you will be responsible only for the application and for the data. And when it comes to the SaaS, that means software as a service, the cloud provider will be responsible for everything, and you will be only consuming the application. SaaS versus PaaS versus IaaS. So SaaS will be used by the end users, PaaS will be mostly used by the developers, and IaaS will be used by the IT people and the network folks. When we talk about the access part, platform as an application will be used mostly by the developers for deploying the runtime environment as well as for the development tools, all like database, etc. And for the IaaS, you will be having the access to the virtual machine and virtual storage. In PaaS, you will have the control of the data of application, and in infrastructure service, you will be having the control on the OS, runtime, middleware, etc. SaaS provides a complete abstraction. PaaS provides the abstraction from the underlying software or the hardware resources, whereas infrastructure as a service provides the abstraction from the underlying infrastructure layer. That means virtualization layer, networking layer, etc. Operational cost. For SaaS, it will be minimal, and for the IaaS, it will be the highest. Gmail, Google Space, and MS Office Online are some common examples for the SaaS. And when it comes to the PaaS, Azure SQL Database, S3 Bucket, Web Application are some common examples of platform as a service. And when we talk about infrastructure service, so virtual machines, Hyper-V node, etc. in various cloud will be there's some example of infrastructure as a service. Which one to choose? So SaaS you will be choosing when you just want to consume the application. PaaS you will be choosing when you want to deploy the application and you don't want to interact with underlying infrastructure. IAAS will be choosing by the organization where they want better control over the infrastructure management, and also they have the skill to do the setup, etc. SaaS will be highly available. PaaS, you can ensure the high availability in just few clicks. For the infrastructure as a service, high availability, you have to deploy some extra resources like disaster recovery solution, load balancer, etc., and follow some best practices to ensure the high availability. So, with this, I mark the end of this lecture. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Please do provide your feedback. Thank you for watching and have a nice day ahead. Thank you.